So we're going completely different from English. We're going into chemistry. I'm going to be talking about phytochemicals and their role in our health. So I'll be analyzing the correlation between phytochemicals and the risk of chronic disease. Many of us don't know what phytochemicals are, so I'll start at the beginning and bring in some chemistry background for you. So it all starts with redox reactions. That means that there's going to be reduction and oxidation involved. Reduction means it gains electrons. Oxidation means it loses electrons. So this is an example of a very simple redox reaction. As you can see, the copper solid gets oxidated and it loses an electron. The silver aqueous is reduced and it gains an electron. And then you get the resulting equation. Usually in the chemistry that I take, the electrons cross out, but today we're going to look how those electrons play a role in biology and your metabolism. So from here you can see another redox reaction. This is one from biology and cellular respiration, where you take glucose and oxygen. You use the oxygen to break down glucose to get energy. There's going to be also ATP that results from this reaction. And you can see how oxidation and reduction take place. Aside from this, though, there is going to be some electrons that get attached to oxygen and result in reactive oxygen species, which is a free radical in your body. So reactive oxygen species, these are some examples that result from that. As you can see, there's some negative values in there, as well as some attached to hydrogen. And these are other sources of reactive oxygen species. Some of them are from natural processes and others are from your own body trying to defend itself. Reactive oxygen species can lead to oxidative stress. I'm not sure if I can. So the overproduction of free radicals, such as reactive oxygen species, can lead to an oxidative imbalance in your body. This happens when you don't have enough antioxidants to balance out the oxidants, or your body is just in a repetitive state of inflammation, which leads to an oxidative imbalance. This will result in the oxidative state in oxidative stress in your body, which is a state in which the free radicals cause cellular damage and chronic inflammation. Some sources of chronic inflammation include persistent infections and non-healing wounds. But the ones I'll be analyzing today are from chronic diseases such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, asthma, hypertension, arthritis, and chronic liver disease. Awesome. So what can we do to combat oxidative stress? So the consumption of phytochemicals can really help with this. Phytochemicals are bioactive compounds produced by plants, and they hold no nutritional value. So these are some examples of phytochemicals that we can consume for nutrition. And they're you can't really see them, but there is some labels in there. These are the very most common types. And as you can see, there are complex compounds that can help take in those free radicals. Okay, and then this is an example of how that takes place. As you can see, circle in red is gonna be some of those reactive oxygen species that attach to, in this example, some polyphenols, which is a type of phytochemical. This creates a balance again on the oxidative stress in your body by reducing those free radicals. And then from here on out, I'll be discussing some case studies where they look at the consumption of phytochemicals and how this affects your chances of having chronic metabolic diseases. So the first one, this one is going to be non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And what they did in this study is, this was a close case study of 225 people with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And it also included 450 control patients. This found a high association between the consumption of phytochemicals and a decreased risk of having the non-fatty liver disease. Most of these studies use the dietary food groups that are high in phytochemicals to rank this. I highlighted some that are very important, such as vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, and olives, as well as olive oils. Then it's separated by your consumption amount. This is another case study. This one looked at cardiovascular risk factors and metabolic syndrome, which is the sum of all of those cardiovascular risk factors. And again, it looked at the consumption of phytochemicals ranked in quartiles and as well divided into food groups. And the top, as you can see, it includes the percentage of phytochemicals consumed. This indicated an inverse relationship between DPI and insulin levels, leptin, and glucose levels as well. And it also indicated a decrease in rates of obesity depending on the phytochemical consumption. This one specifically looked at metabolic health in overweight adolescents. This was 203 overweight or obese adolescents who were eligible for this. It broke down the participants into either metabolically unhealthy obese or metabolically healthy obese, and the chances of you having a low dietary index levels and of phytochemicals and being metabolically unhealthy and obese were really prevalent in this study. And then this one also looked at obesity. This one wasn't specific in adolescents, but it looked at the specific oxidative stress markers and as well as the cardiovascular risk factors. Again, highlighted are the main groups that are where you can get phytochemicals, and those levels are by quartiles as well. This one doesn't indicate anything. They didn't measure anything else on that one, but they did find that phytochemicals play an important role in antioxidant defense system. And the last case study I looked at was, again, the dietary phytochemical index and relation to hypertension. So in this one, I didn't look at the specific food groups, but I did look at the total phytochemical consumption in relation to alcohol, smoking, physical activity, and obesity. As you can see, phytochemical increases with non-drinking and no smoking patients. Oops. And it's also related to the amount of physical activity and your obesity levels. And there was a high prevalence of hypertension on the quartiles that were low in phytochemical consumption. So what this means for you in your diet is that there is definitely a connection between your metabolic health and your consumption of phytochemicals. Even though they hold no nutritional value, people should know about this, and they should definitely take it into consideration when they're thinking about their diet and their consumption. So this chart specifically talks about eating the rainbow, which is how you can identify some phytochemicals in fruits and vegetables by color. But there's also whole grains, nuts, and olives that can be eaten as well to obtain phytochemicals. The problem with phytochemicals right now is that there's no regulations. It doesn't come on the nutritional labels on the back of anything. So there needs to be set standards by the FDA of how much we need to consume to prevent these diseases. And it also needs to be spread to people and educate them. So that's it. Questions? Yeah.
Was there anything like while you're researching your case studies that you found particularly like stood out to you, slash was like something you were shocked by chance?
I think the biggest shocker first was that it all related back to oxidative stress and redox reactions. That wasn't gonna be originally the main focus of this. I was just gonna look at the relationship between phytochemicals and chronic disease, but it became obvious that it had to do with a redox imbalance in your body. So I had to bring that in as a background information.
So I did notice that a lot of the like dietary suggestions for increasing like phytochemicals are also very frequently suggested just for like a healthy diet overall. So is there really like something that we should look for that maybe has high phytochemicals, or like that we should increase more of, or should it just be fine just to kind of eat more of a balanced diet, eat a healthier diet?
So
cover it.
That's kind of like one of the biggest problems right now, is that they're finally like understanding the importance of phytochemicals. So there's no like set standards really of like what to consume. Even finding something like this that really broke down which phytochemicals are found in, what was very difficult. So it is very much right now not something that you can just tell people, oh, eat this and you can just eat that. So there's a lot of research that still needs to develop. Yeah.
From the research right now that you looked at, would you say phytochemicals would be on the same level of importance as vitamins and minerals?
Yes and no. So vitamins and minerals are considered micronutrients. So you have your macros, which are your carbs, proteins, lipids, and stuff like that. And then you have your micros. These don't provide any actual nutritional value, but since they still play such a key role in your like immune system and metabolic health, they should still be considered. They just don't have like an energy related factor to it.
Okay, thank you.